Well, go! Yo, 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 everybody! Relax, I know you've been waiting. Just have a little bit of technical difficulties, but here we go.
Let's go.
Yo, I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys, I'll never compromise. And now I realize there may be other guys, I'll never compromise. I've tried 1,000 tries, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys.
Hey, relax.
Relax.
DJF Striker. What's up?
It's gonna be a fun show today. We'll just let people in. Oh, that was a clean cut. I don't know what happened there. It's supposed to fade. But hello, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yep. You guys probably seeing there's only two of us. And I know everybody's surprised Gus is here. Usually Gus is the one that's missing, but right now Gus is present, and I'm gonna tell you, he's the first one who got into the stage. So
Yeah.
what's up?
Probably that's why we're we're late, right? Because it changed. The layout changed. Yeah.
I know. I don't know what happened there, but we're a little bit late. But look, better late than never. And I think we have a good show again today. We got two great guests, and we're going to introduce them later. But in replacement, not a replacement, but more of substitute for now for DJ Pat, because DJ Pat has to go to his son's soccer game. We actually invited somebody on the show that, I think it's gonna add a little bit more spice in some of this discussion. You know him from a lot of his comments on the chat. I'm gonna put him on the stage, and please, 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 that you guys we're not being robbed here. That's just him, making a statement. That's what he called him. Please welcome everybody. We got Jay Nilla, the great Jay Nilla, on the show today. Hey Jay, how's it going, buddy? We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Good.
You don't tell me you're shy, because you're never shy on chat, and everybody knows that, right? And I did not mute you this time. I promise you're not gonna get banned or mute on this show. I personally invite him because I feel that you're gonna be a great addition to the show today. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. I it seems like I'm on like a 20-second delay or something.
No, you're good. We can hear you.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know, Jay, you know how the show is. You've been a big supporter. Please, 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 like I said, I'm not gonna ban you. I know, your everything that that you've been doing in the chat, you're gonna bring it on the show. Okay. So I'll welcome everybody. Happy Monday again. And this is the episode 6 of season 2 of The Guys Next Door. Like I said, we got two great guests. I think two of them comes from different backgrounds, but kind of still similar. So we're going to talk about them more. But before we do that, I always start with how's everybody right now. Gus, how's your weekend? Anything fun going on?
Honestly, someone asked me that this morning in the office. I said, I can't remember my weekend, so it must be good or it must be bad. I don't know. Honestly, the weekend went fast, really. Really.
No concert, no trips to Vegas this weekend. Just plain old, like, just stay at home.
Just stay at home, watch some movies, and then yesterday, Sunday, I tried to stay on the train. Yep, just
It's
listening.
fine. It's good. Right. How about you, Jay? What's going on? How's your weekend, buddy?
Pretty relaxing. Um, I didn't do much pizza this weekend. It's been kind of slow since the Super Bowl, you know.
Yeah. So
Um,
how was pizza business during that week? It might be crazy, right?
oh, like thousands of pizzas, thousands of wings, you know. Um, it's just people just want to watch a game and get their comfort food, you know.
Okay. So I know your favorite pizza is the one with pineapple. So what's other pizza do you? No, I know you don't
Oh,
like it. So wait, what? How come you don't like pineapple in pizza? I personally love it. So you can judge me, but for me, that's one of my go-to. Why don't you like pineapple in pizza? You're on mute. All right. See, Gus, stop muting. Jay Neela, he's saying something. Good. See,
I'm not even doing it.
you
It's not me.
So whoever's the mod in this channel, yes, you were Jay Nila is allowed to talk today. Please, do not mute him. Let me see if I can fix it. Your audio is setting is not on. So Jay, I don't know. Uh, can you check on your end because I can't unmute you. Because they choose to mute themselves. They said you choose to mute your. Hey, they said you choose to mute yourself. Did you mute? Well, we're gonna come back with that. Daniel just found himself. But everybody, welcome to Guys Next Door, where the talk is cheap and the laughs are prize. We're gonna start the show. So, like always, yeah, Daniel, you're back. You good now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
We're gonna
yeah.
talk about pineapple later, right? So we're gonna, but we're gonna let's start the show, everybody. So, like always, the first segment of the show is, we talk about, the neighborhood and the neighborhood rate train. So here's just the neighborhood watch. Who played on NBHD yesterday, right? So
Mm.
NBHD, again, everybody's asking why the Flyers like a superhero comics team. I think Sound Decision asked. I always ask Sound Decision on Thursday, Wednesday night when I'm making the flyer. Give me a theme, give me a word, so I can make a flyer out of it. So he always challenged me. His challenge was a comic book. So here's what I come up with. Uh, Sometimes he's trying to push me a little bit. This was actually a little bit. Usually, I can make one, finish one in half an hour. This one took me an hour just because of a lot of different, things that came back. I'm thinking of putting cartoons there, but this is what came up with. But who's on the train, right? So we got again a lot of good the DJs there, a lot of people that came back in hiatus. So the DJ Dr. Snappy's from the House Cats. These guys also have a Sunday train, but they love NBASD so much because their train doesn't start like 12. So one of their group takes out takes the first slot, the 9 a.m. DJ Dr. Snappy. And then our buddy, who also co-hosted the show, JFP, rocked it in. After that, it was great. Then went to BW Princess, B Dubs as we call her. Jay, you like B Dubs? She told me how she rocks it. There's a different groove, right? When she's doing it, and I know you said a few on her chat that some of the tunes that she's playing great addition, right? And we hit the 100 mark during her set, so which is great, and stayed there for almost at the end of the train. Rated to Las Vegas with Samo Beats. Samo hasn't been streaming for 7 months because I think I heard he bought a mansion. Samo, if you're listening, congratulations. So now he has a new studio. Great to have him back on NBHD, and he was surprised. I didn't expect that in my first back on Twitch stream is like a lot of viewers. Well, get used to it if you're gonna go in NBHD, right? And then a new NBHD debut from Mel Nichelle. Jay Nila, you also know her. and I think she's a great addition, up and coming. We'll get them more exposure, like everybody else. Like I said, NBHD is really geared towards the starting smaller streamers so that we can help them out grow and reach more. We're still gonna mix it in with the big streamers because I think they also help the community, but it's really NBHD is for the stream the mid smaller streamer to build the community. Then Mel Nichelle sent it to our buddy Harmy, PhDJ Harmacist. Great tunes. Another very talented streamer on Twitch. I think he plays a lot of other instrument. I can see it in the background of his studio. Uh, Rated to Lavelle. Lavelle is pushing for partner. We help a lot of people for that. Told Lavelle whatever NBHD could help. He said, if he could push the train to help him out on the numbers, we did. We reached into 200. Great. He's been streaming for like 8 hours, but we at the end we put NBHD there and really, keep it us going all the way to strikers on the chat right now. Music play great tunes, and the caboose is Oak Daddy DJs. DJ is our friend from. I know he's from Pittsburgh. I think it's in North Carolina, right? So if I'm not mistaken, sorry if it's a mistake, but Oak Daddy, I think played until 12 a.m. Great Sunday train as always. A lot of you here already played on NBHD. We continue to do great tunes every Sunday. Me personally, I don't know what I'm going to do on Sunday without NBHD, but it's just a routine now. In fact, my family knows it. All of you guys know that we're always there. So thank you so much for everybody supporting the train. So we'll continue to do more of NBHD. There's a lot of newcomers that wants to be on the train, and we're gonna be pushing for that and let them join and kind of mix it in with different communities. I know Technocat's there, the house cat, some of the house cats are here also. It's just a lot of community on Twitch that makes this, because NBHD, that's why they call it the neighborhood, right? It's just the neighborhood that that you want to go to, and we're all friends and family here. All right, Jay, are you flexing your T-shirt right now? Well, we like it. We like it. It's a Detroit techno. See, you can see Jay Nila here flexing the T-shirt. Now that's NBHD. Well, we're not gonna keep it going, but we're just gonna introduce the guests. If Gus, if you can put them on the stage, I'm just gonna introduce them one by one, right? So we have this week we got two incredible guests. I think, like I said, who bring a unique blend of personality, music, to the DJ scene or the Twitch scene on NBHD. But let me say, one of them is a DJ, a drummer, just RPG gamer, all around beathead, and you will see some also that he does a lot of handyman fixing around the house, which I'm going to show later. Johnny started in the world of gaming, then found his way to DJing on Twitch. He's all about techno, tech house, breakbeats, DNB, bass house, and we're going to talk about more how he evolved from the scene, from gaming or from being a musician to Twitch's music, and how his journey to the DJ community has grown. And then this other guest is a multi-instrumental artist from the West Coast. Play a lot of progressive bass house, electro house, and I heard he even touched Japanese EDM. I want to know more about that later. But his journey is just as interesting as a lot of people on Twitch. He went to school for music, took a little bit of detour to the IT world, like me and Gus, who's in IT right now. And now I think he's back to where he belongs on the performing performing scenes, right? That career ship, his DJ scene, and of course, some other things we're going to talk about. So let's bring in the guests for today. Please welcome. We got Hectophonic and TK, DJ Teknal. So we're going to call him Hecto and TK. How are you doing, guys? Thank you for joining us on the show.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yo, good to see ya. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, I think you guys know each other from some of the other communities, so I think it's gonna be good that we pair you guys, and so and talk about really your journey on Twitch, and tell us more about yourself. I'm gonna start with you, TK, first, since I introduced Hector first. Tell us more about yourself, so that they know who you are.
Yeah, sure thing. I won't get into the super long backstory of like music and software
Yeah.
engineering and that craziness, but I'll give you like a brief overview. But I studied music in college. I have been a classically trained and touring percussionist for many, many years throughout my like high school, college, and like post-college career. And I took a little break from it to teach myself how to code. And I taught myself how to code without any boot camp. No computer science degree, and like really jumped into that. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, like a lot of people, they started getting into DJing, and I was one of those people. But the thing was, with all of this music background, it just kind of came like second nature to me, because I had already studied music theory. I had already gotten the ear training to like, to hear a piece of music and then like turn it into sheet music after listening to it a couple of times, which is like testing in school. And, for the last 4 or 5-ish years, I've been playing shows. I've been experimenting on Twitch. And, when I started DJing, I realized, wow, I studied the wrong kind of music like my whole entire life. Like, what the fuck? So, it was really refreshing. And it really taught me that, like, I just code for a paycheck, man. I code for a paycheck. I clock in, I clock out. But like my real love is like all of the stuff that you see back here. And in a way, I'm very, very grateful to my software engineering career, because it fueled and funded all of the stuff you see here.
Believe me, man, those are expensive. And IT pays good to really, shoulder all of the expense. But that's great, though, found your way back. And I think, Hector, you kind of have on that same kind of journey, right? So going to you, what's your journey look like also getting to this?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, it was pretty long. So I've been playing drums since I was, like in 6th grade. DJing wise, I was kind of a late bloomer. I didn't get into it till maybe like my later 20s. Before that, I just played in bands and, rock bands on all that type of stuff. My friend got a pair of turntables and got a mixer. This was around like 99, 2000. And I would just go to his house and we would just, practice beat matching on vinyl and everything. And, electronic music was pretty large, pretty big back then. Like, Chemical Brothers were out and Daft Punk and, all these other bands. So it was a pretty exciting time for electronic music. And we all wanted to jump on it. And I started doing house parties. I eventually, after feeling comfortable DJing, I got my own gear. And around 2003, I started venturing out and DJing intermittently. I have to admit, before Twitch, like I didn't DJ like a ton. I would DJ, maybe a few times a year, if that. When I first started, I was doing a residency at a bar. It was like some school night.
Right.
That they would do. You dress up like in school uniforms and gear and all that stuff. So that happened for about 6 months, and that kind of fizzled out. And so after that, I just kind of did little parties here and there. I started doing weddings, just for extra money. And honestly, Twitch has made me such a better DJ for sure. I don't think I've ever played this much in my entire life as far as DJing goes. I absolutely love it, and I'm so thankful. Not thankful for the pandemic, but I'm thankful that because of that, I jumped on to I jumped onto it through Crafty Cuts and started seeing all these other DJs and and especially seeing the community DJs and how inspiring and how cool everybody was. Just decided to stream. So it was like a second rebirth of DJing for me. I felt like I was starting over. So it's great.
Yeah, so having both of you have this, music, the music and the background of playing a live instrument, did that give you guys advantage on being DJs? Like not just on Twitch, just in your gigs in general.
Me first, Techno.
Yeah, Hector. Yeah, then we go Hector. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Playing drums was huge for beat matching and even DJing and knowing like the structure of the song and the phrasing. Yeah, it was absolutely instrumental, pun intended.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
How about you, Teknal? Yeah.
For me, yeah, absolutely. So having not just like a percussionist background of like, having that internal metronome and naturally like subdividing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 the whole time, but also knowing like, some basic music theory and like the circle of fifths and knowing like, hey, this track is in this particular key. If I go to the dominant, which is a fifth, or the sub, or the or the predominant, the fourth, I think that's what it's called. This little rusty. I know it's going to sound really, really great together because it's going to harmonically make sense. So yeah, it's absolutely necessary. It's absolutely helpful. But I want to encourage anyone who does want to DJ, you don't need a classical music background. I have like this crazy, crazy background with all of this training and all of these like oral skills for my ear, but it's not necessary. I wouldn't even say it's necessary to like learn an instrument or like even know music theory or any of that. The bare minimum you need to get into DJing is just a heartfelt, genuine, and sincere love for electronic music. That's all.
Interesting, because I always thought that training in traditional music, influenced some of the approach on DJing, like track selection, mixing style. Because I know Mike Freak, he started in the band also. I don't know if you guys know Mike Freak, big producer. I know other DJ like Virgil Maxino also used to play the drums, and I heard that what you're saying is you don't really need to be trained, but at least the traditional music influence actually still gonna help, right? And not really classically trained, but just a traditional way of learning, knowing the rhythm, knowing the beats help a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, knowing that a bar has 4 beats typically in like especially house music, yeah, that's helpful and all. And to have like the ear for it to know like, I like this part about this track, I don't like this part about this particular track. Having that ear for that and just being able to say like, when I mix these two together, it doesn't quite sound right. Just having that kind of ear and then just that general awareness. One thing that I think sets musicians aside from, quote unquote, like people who aren't musicians is that we are actively trained to be active listeners. So these are the same skills that are taught by therapists to do mental health. These are the same skills that are practiced by doctors to actively be listening and not just wait for your turn to respond.
Wow, learned something new. Well, also, on how have you ever incorporated your instrument into your DJ set? Have you thought about you play the drums? Have you talked about getting like a redemption or something to actually play the drums?
I do actually. Funny, when I first saw Teknal and Lemmy, Liminal Faces, they were both doing their jump. I'm like, man, okay, I need to jump on.
You had to step it up, right? Yeah.
So you definitely brought me in, and and I had a little electronic set anyway, just kind of like sitting in the corner, just to practice with. So I was like, you know what, yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, I finally have a redemption for it.
That's awesome. I play the guitar, and
hey,
I was thinking about doing Grace, but they're gonna boom. I don't know how to do electric, or any like techno tunes in. I'm more of a band before, so I don't know. And I play the bass, so I don't know really how to incorporate it. But thought about it. How about you, Gus? Have you played any instrument?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's why
I tried to buy a guitar just to learn, but I think I'm too late. 10 years too late to learn.
Never too late. Never too late.
Definitely not. You can learn.
No?
Yeah.
I can. Okay.
Yeah. What? So going back to that, right? So let's say you guys do it. Include a tech instrument. What do you think are some of the technical challenge that that you'll encounter when trying to mix live instrument in DJ? I know a few people does it, right? Emilia does it. Jordan Taylor has a sax. Actually, Gus, that would be cool. I mean, that if there's an instrument I want to play, it's the saxophone. I think people who play saxophone, they think they're cool. That'll be great. I mean, what do you think will be the technical challenges if you guys, mix up do it? And I know technically you're doing it. Any challenges you think that's happening during that set if you try to incorporate that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Like for instance, making sure that your cat is very happy and gets all the love and attention that she wants. This is Nora. She's also a co-host on my stream too. Hey bud,
Yeah.
love you. Okay, I want to podcast right now with the homies. See ya.
Sound like my kid. He's doing that during work. I was on a meeting, and then kids. My son came into me like, it's asking me if there's food. Like I was in like a deep meeting with executive. Is there food? I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. To answer your question, so some of the challenges, I would say, especially with incorporating live instruments, is when do I play? What do I play? And how do I play it? Like, it sounds like big overarching questions, but for me, when I started incorporating like live looping, the first place that I knew where to add live looping in is when there's no drums. There's no drums, so I can fill that void in there. When I know there's like a lot of melodic hits, like for instance, in one of the tracks that I play out, I can't quite remember the names, but it's a Yasutaka Nakata track. But there's always like ba 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 ba. So that's just like Tom Ford. So you can just add that kind of stuff in, know where your hits are, and I really treat it in a way like a jazz drummer, where the drummer's job in like a jazz combo, it's not to keep time. That's the bassist's job. The drummer's time is to fill in the space to tell the rest of the band where to play. So if I know there's a horn hit on the of like 2, 1, so I know exactly where to hit that snare to fill in that space. So it's more so like, where do I fill in the space? Where do I want to keep the energy high? And what kind of flow do I want to have towards my set? And it took a lot of time to get this. There were times where I was drumming in a track where I absolutely should not have been. There's also times in a track where I could have absolutely drummed or added something in because it's just like dead silence and the energy was falling too much and I didn't know how to keep that energy up. So like drums would have been great there, but you have to make mistakes. You have to fuck up. You have to like really, really screw up to find out where you can go better. So failure, especially as a musician and especially as a Twitch streamer, because you're going to fail a lot, trust me. You have to just really embrace that failure. And you know what? The stakes are low on Twitch. If I fuck up like a drum fill or something on Twitch, it's not a huge deal. IRL, that's a different story. I'm probably not going to get called again.
You're scaring Hector now to incorporate that. You just said all the different things that could go wrong. Like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna do it for now. You just scared the shit. You just scared the shit out of Hector.
That's it.
All right.
I quit.
All right. No. I'm not gonna put drums anymore. I'm just gonna play my DJ set. But seriously, Hector. I mean, do you see this? You've been you also do the drums. You think that it's just gonna be the challenges you're gonna be incorporating? Are you even scared that this is gonna, you adding it on your sets? What do you think about that?
It is definitely different. And like, Teknal was saying, I love how you said, you're almost more like a jazz musician, because you don't want to be too busy with it. And honestly, I've only done percussion sounds on it. I mean, I have a bunch of sounds and I just recently started, so I really need to branch out and maybe do some cool electronic, like, hits or samples or something. But just for now, I'm just doing percussion because I figure if the drums are going, then I can fill it with some tasty, conga or percussion, just something kind of cool and Latin-y and funky, that's how I'm kind of approaching it for now. But yeah, I'd like to branch out. And as far as technical stuff goes, yeah, it's huge. I mean, when I first started it, I couldn't hear myself. There was like a delay, because I have a speaker going, so I can hear it in my headphones and I can hear it in the room. So yeah, there are a bunch of technical issues, that can happen. But like Teknal said, you got to embrace that failure. I love that, especially as a Twitch streamer. Just learn from it. You just gotta keep going. It's like a train.
Right. Jay, sounds complicated. What do you think about it? I mean, I see them sweating like Miles Teller on Whiplash, right? The drums, and he was like, Well, I mean, what do you think, Jay? It's just
Like,
I
I just want to go back to the like going to music school or having a lot of education. It's like going to art school. You don't need to do any of that. It's going to help you,
Mm,
but the only purpose of going to art school is to meet artists. And I feel like for music artists, our school was the actual fucking rave scene. And we just learned by doing. You can know all the instruments in the world. It's not going to help you with techno, you know?
That's pretty good. That's interesting because I know Jay, you done gigs before. I mean, I know you're not DJing on Twitch, but you know what the scene is. It's to your point. It's the learning, I guess. It's the experience. Knowing people, right? It's same with an artist. You meet people, getting them inspired, and really performing the actual art, right?
So listen, being from Chicago, I've hung out with a lot of like blues musicians and that kind of thing. And they will tell you that like when you're in that environment, like blues and jazz, very similar. You could
Nice.
all you need to do is learn to play your part in the song, and then you just fucking go.
mm,
Like there's
Nice.
no education that will help you with that. Like you can't learn anything in a book about any
mm.
of that. You just have to hang out with other musicians and just jam, you
Nice.
know.
Yep. Just Hecto and Techno. You got the goods. Your background is great going in Twitch, but we know getting in Twitch is also different, right? So tell us more about that challenge, starting out a Twitch DJ. You go into RRL, but everybody here that's streaming knows Twitch is different, right? It's just not, people say it's not just the music, right? It's everything else. So what can you remember on your first live stream and the early days of Twitch? Tell us all about that. I'm going to start with you, Hack.
Okay. Um, I tell you, because I just started kind of getting back into DJing, and it was funny. I got a new deck, a new controller, maybe 6 months before I even thought about streaming, because it was for my friend's birthday, and I had the opportunity, and I did it. So when I started, that first stream, I was nervous as fuck. Because I'm like, oh my god, there's I've never done this before. What I don't know how to do the redemptions really. You gotta pay attention to the chat. Like it's so much different than just being. I mean, you got to pay attention when you're DJing, like at a gig. You look at the floor, you see how people are reacting, and see how the crowd is,
You can adjust. Yep.
dancing and stuff. But with Twitch, you don't see anybody. I mean, yeah, people can chat, but if there's nobody chatting, you're like, okay, well,
What do you do?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully this is good. So I'm just gonna keep going. But I was so nervous. So I remember I was shaking when I had that first stream, and even after I was done, like just like a leaf. So
Nice. Wow. Yeah. Techno, did you have the same experience or, something, similar to what Hex's experience?
Oh yeah. I ran into a lot of like technical issues and stuff like right before my first ever
Ah,
stream
that's a
too.
bitch. Technical
It
tech
always
issues.
happens.
yeah,
So you're
yeah.
not
Yeah.
like, I think somebody told me this. I think it was Liminal Faces who said this, but you're not a real streamer until you get technical issues in the middle of your stream.
Yeah.
Like shit happens all the time. So my first stream was actually on Halloween night of last year. So I haven't been doing
Okay.
this very, very long. And what I did before that first stream is I actually took some time to really study other streamers. So I looked at like Martino Eduardo, I looked at K Spout Boy, I looked at Val Dudes, Groove Kitty. I just spent a lot of time just watching Twitch streams, and I saw what the larger streamers were doing. I saw what like the up and coming streamers were doing, and I said, I like that. I see why they're doing that. And I'd been an IRL DJ for like 4 years before I started Twitch. So the DJing part, it wasn't too crazy for me because I had done it for so long, and I like don't really have terribly too much, knock on wood, I don't have terribly too much trouble getting live gigs and stuff from just like posting on Insta and like networking and like showing up to events in Los Angeles and the sort. But like that first stream, just like Hecto, like I was shaking. I was scared. And there was this weird fucking thing that my camera was doing where like you'd see something happen, but if I did like, instead of like a smooth motion like this, it would go like croc like that and like just look super, super weird. And I still have like that very first stream like recorded on my laptop here. And so like every once in a while I'll like pull that one up, or I'll pull up like a previous stream to just see like, okay, let's see how far I've come and all of this. And that's how I do that.
Yep. Well, you think you're shaking. Wait, if your wife is streaming and you're in the technical issue, you will know how hard it is.
Honey, the music is off.
Oh my God. You guys should have seen me like running around like, I know what's going on. Like, I push everything, reset the louder, like, fuck, like, just, and it still happens right now, by the way. But yeah, I get it. The tech issue is a bitch, right? So it's always hard. Well, I don't know how you guys do it because you guys are streamers and you guys also do the tech, right? So it's hard. And when did you start? You said your last year. How about you, Hack? So when did you start?
I started July of 2023. That was my very first stream. So I haven't been doing it too long.
Right. So do you think it's harder right now for, 23 and then you last year, so putting you to your point, you think it's easier or harder right now for DJs to grow on Twitch compared to, what the not the OG, but the earlier days, right? Even for us, NBC started 22, late 21 going in 22, but there are people who have been there like since the pandemic. Do you think it's harder or is it easier right now to get started?
In a way, it's easier because you do see more DJs. So you can kind of connect and you can try to reach out, to people. But as far as the DJ program goes, I think it's harder because I loved having the VODs because you could look back on it and be like, okay, well, how did I look? Okay, how was that? Okay, I could do this better. Where now, unless you record it yourself, which I don't always do. I'll do it, every now and then. But
you can review the chat also during those times, right? Oh, shit, I missed this, and then I should have acknowledged this, right? I know Gus. You do that every stream when you started, right? I need to do it. I need to review it because that's really how you make it better, right? But Gus, right now, we're what 3 years going now. You think it's going to be harder right now in the DJ program, or it's easier back then?
I don't know. I've not been streaming for a while. I think it's easier back then to me. Yeah.
Okay. And Teknal, last year, what for you? What do you think it's the hard part of getting to that? And you said it's not the DJing. Is it? You think it's is it harder right now based on your experience?
I don't really have a frame of reference to compare to because I never tried to get on Twitch. Before last year, like honestly, it never even like really crossed my mind. And I can kind of segue into this. So I'll admit I'm super privileged and I'm very, very fortunate to actually have met a lot of the Twitch fam in person before actually streaming on Twitch.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
That helped out a lot. So like when it comes to all of this, I had a huge advantage to it. And what that advantage was so I've been throwing Renegade events in Los Angeles for a really, really long time, like since the pandemic. So, I'm used to taking all of this gear that you see behind me and taking it out to the middle of the desert, the middle of the forest, the middle of the woods, where the cops can't fucking shut us down. Yeah. And we just party for a long weekend and we just swap on the decks whenever we can. So my friend has like a really, really big sound system and we took that out to the Sequoia National Forest last year. Yeah, we took that out to the Sequoia National Forest last year. And I didn't know that we were going to live stream all of the stuff via Starlink on Twitch. So that's when I met Martino Eduardo in person. That's when I met like Case Foulboy, Darth Dave. Who else? Yeah, like
Some
a
are.
bunch, just like a bunch of like really, really great streamers who've been doing it for a while. So they all said like, why the fuck are you not on Twitch? You're showing me all this hybrid DJ stuff with the drum pad and like live looping and shit. What the fuck, man? So that's how I got started in Twitch. They said like, oh, you're gonna blow up. Like, we got your back, man. Like, you tell us when you're streaming, we'll all be there. And they did. They all showed up for it, and they all like showed me the ropes and helped me out and taught me how to like network and how to like get myself out there and all of this. And through this journey, I've learned things like social media management, through data analytics and all of that stuff too. So, you know, I really take like a business minded approach to this because I've worked in startups for so long. So I really look at my Twitch channel as like a business. And these business decisions that I make are all informed by data and what's going out there and what resonates with my audience the best.
He sounds like an IT guy here, right? You know, the analyst. You know, but that's great though. I like that approach. Yeah, I'm in IT also, so that's why I understand everything what you said about data analytics, because everything is data, right? If it's data driven, you can have an advantage. But speaking of the community, I think that's a great advantage for you to know those. So those are, you know, those people, right? Fortunately, they all played NBHD, so I was proud of that. Everybody just said played an NBHD, which is awesome. But they're huge now, right? You know, Martino, Group Kitty became a partner. Val Dudes has been Twitch for a longest time.
Time.
We know Val. We love Val Dudes. You know, and Hector, do you play this? Do you like work around the same community as Teknal, or did you get to that same community when you started on Twitch?
Yeah, it's funny. I was on Guns. Guns' channel.
Guns and All.
Yeah, Guns and All. Thank you.
Okay.
And she rated Patrick Richards, and that was it. Like once I saw Patrick, my mind was just blown, and the community, just how cool it was, and I didn't realize that Twitch could be like that. You know, well, it blew my mind, and it was really inspirational. I mean, you know, like Teknal was saying, like the community was huge. You know, and especially getting me to stream. I never thought I'd stream. Are you kidding me? Like, I had no interest in streaming at all. I'm like, DJing streaming? No, that's not me. And now look, now I'm doing it. So,
hey man, the streamer life chooses you. You don't choose the streamer life.
And I got to ask this question. I know Jay, you were part of last week about this, about Twitch, you know, technical skills versus community, right? For you guys, what do you think Twitch is, right? Because we talked about it last week, wherein you got the artists, you got the entertainers. For me, I think it's both, whatever you're offering. But for you guys, you know, is it more of the community or the technical skill, or there's what's your take on that kind of like, you know, discussion? I'll start with you.
Yeah, can I just like get a little bit more clarity on the question? So what you're asking is like, you know, what brings you to Twitch? Are you asking like, is it community?
Yep.
Is it music? Okay, got it. Yeah, so you know, I learned this from like talking to a bunch of different streamers too. And for me, like, I want music to be the focal point of my channel. I want people to come because they like want to listen to my music. And I play a lot of like, you know, original or mashups or like edits that I've made too. And I want people to come because they want to see the musicianship. I want them to see me play instruments. I want to see them. I want to see them like, you know, see like, you know, if you work really hard, you can do all of this. You know, one thing that I've carried through my whole life, just as like a person, is, you know, leave people better than when you found them. So I always make sure that whenever somebody comes into my Twitch stream, that I want them to be leaving that stream after we raid out or after, you know, we leave, that I want this person to feel awesome. I want this person to feel like excited and energized and having the belief that they can teach themselves just about anything they want. And they can really do anything they want after they put their minds to it. And that's why I opened up the Discord as well. Cause like, let's just be honest, Instagram, Twitch, any sort of social media, you're not guaranteed, just because somebody follows you doesn't mean that they're going to watch you on Twitch or see your posts on Instagram. So that's why I find Discord to be like a true one-to-one direct line to people who want to support me and the people who want to be a part of my community. I see my Discord server, and I'm active in it. I'm posting in there every day. I see that as like a direct line to people, and it's less of the focus is on me as a person. It's actually more so on the community. It's what can I do to serve you? What can I do to help make you achieve the things that you want to do? I really, really want people to like come in, feel awesome, and be like, hey, this guy figured out like live looping and stuff, and he never had like a class or a lesson on that. This guy figured out DJing. This guy figured out coding or XYZ. I just want people to have like that excitement, that joy of creation of like, yeah, after you come in here and you see all the crazy shit that I've built and like all the innovative stuff that I'm trying to, you know, do with my channel and everything, between the social media, the content, and the streams itself, I want people to feel empowered that yes, you can do things, you can make things, and you can be your most creative and most best self. And the only thing you have to do is try.
Do you feel the same way, Heck? Is that also true on
yeah,
on
yeah,
your
a lot of it, yeah. I mean, the community is huge, and you know, when I first started on Twitch, the thing I think I was most excited about, which is going to sound kind of silly or weird, but it was to play electronic music, because you know,
Right.
I didn't really get a chance to do it. I mean, the house parties I did with my friends, sure, I did it, but like, you know, weddings, you know, I'm not throwing down a lot of electronic music. In bars, I'm not doing it unless I throw in, you know, a track or two that everybody knows. So I was so stoked. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to like play like all this stuff that I've never really had a chance to. And the community just came along with that. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it's such an integral part. And I think that's what I love about Twitch, is just the interactive, you know, element of it, and just you know, people are with you. It's just a different medium, and I think that's going to grow. Whether it's like an IRL event that's going to have chat, or you know, or if somehow, you know, technical wise it's going to be cooler, you know, with maybe VR or something. I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see where it's going to take us, but yeah, I love it.
That's good. I mean, community. I agree with you guys 100%. That's why NBHT is all about the community. It's really, when we first started it, we said, you know, we're just gonna hang out with a bunch of friends, but we realized that there's a group of people out there in Twitch, and I always said 90%. What did they say, JD? 90% of people I met on Twitch are great people, and I stand behind that. But there's always these 10%. And speaking of the 10%, I do want to ask TK about this. While it's widely acknowledged that in Twitch, that women in streaming face a lot of inappropriate advances, it is also important that, you know, men experience this too. And I know, TK, on your Discord or somebody else's Discord, I read it. I'm not stalking you. Just look it up. That, you know, you have this experience or situation where you encountered that. Tell us more about it.
Oh yeah, I'd actually really love to talk about that, because it's everybody gets sexualized in one way, shape, or form on Twitch. Like, it's just kind of unavoidable. And you know, the advice that I got is like, you just kind of have to take it onto you kind of have to take it to the chin and not like terribly bring up a big fuss about it. But I'm absolutely happy to talk about this. So for a while, I was doing like shirtless and pantsless streams just because I thought it would be funny. I think I'm like a decently good looking dude. And like, I like working out. Like, you know, I like to think I'm a big guy, and I, you know, can throw around some weights. And, you know, looking at like the data and looking at the metrics from it, like I was making like, you know, 30 to 40% more money per stream when I took my clothes off. And, you know, that was cool. That was fucking rad. Like, I take off my shirt and I make an extra 30%. Fuck yeah, call me in. Yeah. But, you know, the consequences of that action were that, so what had happened, like, I think it was like a day or so, like after one of those streams, and somebody had sent me a unsolicited DM on Instagram. They found my Instagram.
DM. Okay.
Yeah. And the name was like a bunch of weird letters. Like, it looked like it was like auto-generated, like CZQY1.
It's not new. It's not musical type Mo, right? That's not what it is, right?
I don't know who that was. It was like someone's shitty crypto wallet or something. They just used that as their name.
Yeah.
or like so I got this message, and like when I saw it, I was like, this is gross. And it was like really, really graphic, and it said like a lot of stuff that they wanted to do with me in private without any clothes on. Like, this is like really, really weird. So I kind of deleted it and like, didn't think about it. But the next day or the next couple of times when I was just on Twitch and just watching other streamers, and I would say hello, like every streamer that I would talk to would say something like, "Hey, it's Teknal. How you doing? Oh man, like, if you pay him like 1,000 points, he'll take his shirt off for you." And then like as people were like saying these things,
You're getting
like,
paid?
Man, I didn't know
Well,
that.
Gus is actually taking his clothes off for free without anything. Anyways,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So as like these were coming in, like the first time it was like, all right, like this is kind of the thing that I'm known for as part of my brand now. And then like it happened again and again and again, and then it got to a point where like I had like this brick wall just hit me and go like, I don't want people coming to my streams because they want to see me shirtless and they want to see my body. I want people to come to my streams because they want to come here for the music. And that was like a little bit of a blessing in disguise. And, I talked about it and I posted like an Instagram story that said, hey, like I was sent like some really inappropriate, unsolicited sexual advances on Instagram. The shirtless stuff was going away for a while. And the people who really, really supported me, they like DM'd me and said, I'm really, really sorry that happened. What can I do to support you? I really, really like coming to your streams and I love hearing your music and I love like seeing the enthusiasm that you have out there. And I love like the message that you're trying to convey. So like, please, like, don't stop streaming because of this. Like, fuck this person and fuck this dude, whoever said all these awful things to you. So that was like really like, but I will admit, like when like every stream that I would go into after getting that message was like, hey, he'll strip and he'll take his shirt off. Like it was at first it was like, all right, cool. But then like it just started to turn into like this weird like parasocial sexualization. And like I don't want my brand associated with this. I don't think I could do this anymore. Like, and that's when, I said on my next stream, I specifically spoke directly to the community that I was building. I specifically told them like, these are going away for a bit. I don't know if I'm going to bring them back, but this is what happened. And this is why I don't feel comfortable taking my shirt off on stream anymore. And, that to just be honest and sincere with the community of like, why you're doing something like, hey, we were expecting X, but now we're getting Y. Like, what's the reason for this? Being open with the community and the support that I've not only received from just viewers, but other streamers too, who have been, received sexual harassment or have like gotten these kind of unsolicited, unwanted messages from folks. That really, really helped. It really felt like I had like a whole community of people backing me up. And
it's the community.
Yeah,
it's the community to back you up, right?
Absolutely.
Heck. So do you think this is a just want to get your perspective on that? Do you think this is a double standard though when it comes to male and female? What do you think about that?
As far as what is like being
yes, well, sexual advancement. Like some people think that it's good. It's not okay on women, but you see with TK's experience, it's okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, if you can make it work for you, and if if you're okay, and you're not getting, I'm sure people get harassed who do it, but as long as you're not hurt, and you've got support, I say go for it. I mean, I know that, like technical say, like I'm sure some people probably get more viewers, maybe you get more biddies, and maybe you get more money from doing it. And if that works for you, then great. I think I think it's up to you. I mean, as long as you're comfortable with it, I say let your freak fly. Like you do whatever you want. I know I'm not doing it because I don't have that body.
Guys, look, I think we can monetize all of this. We're doing it wrong to Virgil's point. We're getting everything for free on everything. You're showing everything on your set. Like we should be starting doing something. But I think you guys are right. It's the at the end of the day, it's the community is gonna back you up, right? Tech, you can do shirtless and NVHD anytime. I'm gonna fucking back you up. I'm gonna be your mod the whole time. Like, give them your DM. If you're gonna DM me. But seriously, I think the community is gonna back you up because I think it's to your point. One of the things you said is branding, right? Branding is also important. I mean, I know it's music too, but branding also important uh, for you because if it's funny, right? Gus does it. Gus is known for all his costumes, his butt cam, showing his butt with the camera, but it's not sexual. It's more of that's just the streamer. That's part of the entertainment. So, but again, people on our community will help you do that, and I think basically, if everybody's saying it's okay, emotionally, that's going to help you, and also just say fuck them, right? It's really what to Hack's point, it's do what you have to do. It's your show, it's your channel.
Yep.
That's
your
what
club.
it is.
It's your club.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep. um have you guys noticed, like, how did you guys have seen anything on Twitch, like a female that has that, and how they handled that? Like, did you see anything on Twitch where I know there's a few. I think I was on Sheldon's one time, that was years back, and then people will say something, and I actually commend how streamers can ignore that, or actually people said fuck off, this whatever. Have you guys experienced that in Twitch at all? Jay, you've been on a lot of channels where there's a lot of these people. Have you experienced anything like that in Twitch wherein they got called out or they did something? Jay, sorry. Do you have you experienced anything like that during your favorite streamers, like lady streamers? Have you experienced somebody getting called out or somebody saying something during the streams that inappropriate? Do you guys hear me? Am I on mute again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I got mute last episode. I got mute. Somebody muted me. I was off for like 5 minutes. I don't know why, but I'm not sure if Jay could. I don't think. I think Jay's still having some issues. But how about you guys?
I don't
Have you
know.
seen anything?
Can you hear me?
Oh, now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you how about you, Hack or TK? Have you guys have experienced, like, you see something or you're watching somebody stream and they said something inappropriate, and how did they handle it? Have you guys any experience of all with that?
I've seen people come to the defense of the streamer when someone has said something, that's been inappropriate. I think it's another reason why I love the community so much. I mean, yeah, you get that 10% that's going to be a dick and be trollish, but yeah, I think, yeah, I gosh, I can't remember who it was. But somebody was they're just being cool and just just dancing or something. They weren't trying to show anything, and there were some lewd comments, and a bunch of people just jumped on and just
That's
got
awesome.
on them, and I think they banned them or they blocked them. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, those are the 10% I'm talking about. You gotta get them.
Yeah.
But the mods do their job, your community do their job, and they're definitely gonna protect you. All right,
Yeah.
so
hats off though.
Yep, yeah, and then TK, yeah, very good. Hats off to you for not for experiencing that, but really handling that very well. Because it's, again, they think that it's just females who has this, but there's all that also exists on a male streamer, except Gus, where I'm just waiting for that to do it. So what do you think is, like, for you guys are considered like the new gen of Twitch DJs, right? Do you feel how do you handle right now networking with other DJs on Twitch outside of the community? I know you guys have met with NBHD. Anything that you've done something to reach out to other community outside of what the communities are you working on right now?
Can I get a little bit of clarity on this question? Are you talking about like networking outside of like kind of the Twitch
No, just
fans,
Twitch.
community.
Yeah, so outside of your current Twitch community right now, have you tried networking with other DJs or other communities outside your current community right now on Twitch?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I always try to like, every week or every like couple of days, I try to, go explore a streamer that I haven't seen before. Like there's just so many streamers on Twitch. And like if you keep going to the same streamers and being part of their communities, you're not going to grow. Like you're just hanging out at like the same bar that you've always gone to or the same club that you've always gone to for like the last month. Like there's parallels to IRL to what happens on Twitch. So, I always try to make an effort to go out and see like, and even outside of like DJing, like sometimes I'll look at just music streams. Like Sunfire is somebody that I discovered that I thought was really, really cool. Who was it? I think it was like Eliza Vibes. So she like DJs with just like a push to controller and that's it. Like she doesn't use decks or anything. So like just being in those Twitch streams and like cheering them on and, being like a regular and popping up in there and lurking for a little bit, it's really, really cool. That's a great way to expand your community and to just like, meet other musicians. Cause when you're supporting other streamers, like a rising tide lifts all boats. So the more that you can get out there and stream and make yourself known and make your presence known, that's how you increase your total viewer count on Twitch. Now, to get the average viewer count to go up, that's a different story. That's retention. And so that's like the stuff that you do on stream to get the same people coming back, to get new people out there, to get new people to come to your stream. It's what you do when you're not streaming that counts.
Yeah, that's the hustle there. I mean, everybody needs to do that work, right? It's not just playing, right? We all know that. Everybody knows that you have to do the hustle. How did you guys know about NBHD, by the way? Just curious. Hector first, were you?
I believe I probably through Grace. I think that's probably how I first heard of it. And I watched it a couple times, and I think the thing I really dug about NBHD was not I mean anyone can play whatever they want, but a lot of people were playing like that funky kind of soul, like deep house type of vibes. And I just started kind of getting into that. I didn't really start out playing that type of stuff. I was mostly like a breaks guy and playing harder stuff and more heavier stuff. So yeah, I think it was Grace. And then y'all were nice enough to bring me on, and there you go.
Yeah, there. How about you, Tech? Did you? Don't tell me it's Grace. Also, everybody went through Grace.
Well, I hate to say it, but self-fulfilling prophecy here because you teed it up, homie. Yeah, it's actually Grace. So Grace raided. Not only did Grace raid me with like 30-some people, but she was also my 300th follower on Twitch. Exactly.
Oh wow!
Nice, nice.
I kept track of it, and I remember seeing her because I remember on stream I was like, "Hey, Grace, you're follower number 300. Congratulations!" And then like, "Oh, Grace, are you still here?" And then she was gone. And then I'm like, "Oh, I didn't have like an exciting enough stream to retent." And then she just raided me out of the blue. So that's how I heard about BHD. And then you DM'd me and asked me to be on the raid train, and the rest is history.
We love extending the community and finding more and more of this. She's on Twitch a lot, so she always tells me we got to get this. She's gonna stay on that channel, and I think most of everybody in Basic went through either Grace or Boy G, but mostly through Grace. She's here right now. Oh, she's recovering, so she's not gonna be streaming for a while. She's kind of resting right now, but yep.
Understood.
Thank you, Grace. I know Jay, who's been very silent, which is surprising. You have a question for both of you. Jay, this is your time. I know you have questions for these two. Can you ask away, buddy?
Did I mute myself again?
No.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I took the liberty to actually send them both the questions beforehand, because unfortunately I have never experienced either of their streams or their communities, but we know a lot of people on Twitch on this platform, and it's always just about bringing different communities together. So the first question I had was, and this is for both of you, obviously, or whoever wants to answer, is what tracks as a DJ do you enjoy to play the most and why?
I've got a good answer for this one, but I'll let Huckto go first if he's down.
Oh, we're gonna let me go first, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tee you
That's
up, man. Yeah.
That's a really, I'm gonna be honest, that's a really tough question because my musical tastes are always going all over. But some favorite tracks, at least
Oh,
recently,
it's a tall list. It's a tall fucking list.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love "Hello" by Visex.
Oh,
It's kind of this cool, tech track, and
Okay.
I loved it when I first started streaming because it was great to play whenever I got a raid, because they say hello and or do a raid train. So, and it's really funky, has a great vibe. A track that I don't play very much, but I love mixing in because it's kind of different is I Think I'm in Love by Spiritualized, but the Chemical Brothers
Oh, that one's
remix of
good.
that, which
That's
was on the Brothers Are Gonna Work It Out mix CD. It's the very last track. It's just an epic track. I mean, I probably wouldn't play it until like the very end, but that track is fantastic. And a third one, oh man, yeah, that's a tough question. I'll say just because I've been really getting into her lately. I'll say Mary Droppins, Mr. Sandman. That was one of the first tracks that I really I figured out who she was and I discovered her, and it's just so dope and just super bassy. But like I said, next week the answers could change. So
nice.
They always do.
How about you, TK?
Oh, all right. So, we talked about like this kind of list of like, music that's just ever growing. That this is my favorite track and this is what my favorite track is. I have such a love affair with music that I kind of look at it as like everybody knows that one dude. You might have met them in college or you might have met them in school that they're like, oh, I love this person so much. And then like another person will like walk in front of them like, oh no, I love that person. They're the love of my life now. That's how I feel about music. Like whenever I listen to a new track, like, oh, this is my
Makes
favorite
sense.
track now. But there's three that I consistently play out that I find to be like my absolute favorites. The first would be, and these are like going to be, two of these are like deep-ish cuts. So the first one would be the FS Green remix of Attention by New Jeans. And this is a really, really interesting club rework by a UK artist of a K-pop group called New Jeans. And why I love this track so much is in the intro of this track, they do this thing, and it's done few and far between now because it's a little unpredictable, but they trick your ear into thinking that the first sound that you hear is the downbeat. Like you keep thinking it's 1, 2, 3, 4, but then like a bass line or another like chord melody comes in, and then it's actually an offbeat. So so it's actually the offbeat the whole time. So that makes some really, really interesting ways to mix in other tracks. And it brings in like a really interesting way to like use the offbeat to kind of like build up energy to like, hit home, because like the drop of that track is just like so good, and the melodies and the vocals are just like, oh, like immaculately mixed. I absolutely love this track so much. So I'll put it in the chat for those people I'll put all three of these in there for everybody to listen to. But I'll tell you right now that the third one you actually can't get a hold of because I'm never going to release it. So sorry. But the second one I would say is Resonate by John Summit and Cascade featuring Julia Church. And I love this track to death because it's very much techno. It's absolutely techno, but the lyrics are very, very beautiful. It's done very, very melodically. It has all of these, influences that it wears on its sleeve, like dark techno, like melodic techno, trance, and soaring melodies that feel so good. So I always use the extended version of that, and I always mix that in because that's like a really good pivot point of like, if I'm feeling the vibe is going more towards house, this isn't a bad track to pivot to house. If this is to something a little bit more emotional that I want the audience to feel, I can pivot towards that. If I want to move to something house that's like a little bit more lighthearted so people can dance to, and they're not feeling like super emotionally heavy, because I really, really like playing super emotionally heavy music. It's also really, really great for that too. So you have all of these different avenues to bounce off of. So that's why I really like that track. The third track, partially a shameless plug here, but it's an edit that I made of a John Summit track called Where You Are.
Wow.
And it was a remix of Zed remix Where You Are by John Summit. And when I heard this remix for the first time, I said, wow, this is fucking lazy. Like, this is so lazy. I'm hearing all of these reused sounds from Zed. I'm using all of these, like, this ticking clock that just like makes me feel anxious right now. Like, I don't want this. So what I did was I took that track and I transposed it by ear, and I figured out the chords and I figured out all the melody. And what I did is I reformed the chord structure so that you could reuse the same melody, but I flipped all of the chords around so that it could be like my own emotional impact of what I wanted to do with that track. So the first half of that all the way to this giant, giant drop is just layers upon layers upon layers. So if I need like a vibe change, I'll play the beginning of that track, which I made, and it'll start like building up all of this like tension, and people will be like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And then that big drop happens. And you see everybody just like lose their minds. You see all the emojis in the chat. I remember the first time that I played this out for a Renegade in Yosemite last year in August, which was, fun fact, the first time I actually did a hybrid set with the drum pad and the live looping and everything. I remembered seeing all of these people in the crowd singing along to the song because everybody knows the lyrics because it's such a popular track. So when I first played that out, I saw like everybody singing and like belting these lyrics out as loud as they can during this big emotional buildup, and I couldn't help but like start crying behind the decks. So I'd say those are my three, and I'll be happy to put those in chat for everyone. But I'm really, really sorry I can't give you that third track. That one lives on my USB, and it doesn't.
Even for me. No, I'm kidding. That's great. You guys got a lot of like, you look up to influencers, right? But let me ask this question: who's one Twitch DJ or a DJ on Twitch that you look up to, and why? Let me ask that.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
I'll start. There's two. I'd say the first is Martino Eduardo. Not only because he got me into this, but he's just like a chameleon, and he just like is able to like, fit in any situation, create like a really, really great vibe. He's like an excellent DJ, like one of the best that I've heard in my career. And the second would be Patrick Richards. I really, really like Patrick's like 3-deck mixing and how he's just like on top of it and just like creative mixing. And you can tell it's like none of this is really rehearsed. Like he's just naturally mixing and doing it. So I find that to be incredible and something that I look up to.
So what would you do, like a 56-hour stream now and then just start moving around like Patrick Richards?
Man,
that combo is hard, right?
I know.
54 hours straight.
Dude,
I know for a fact.
That would be crazy.
I know for a fact, because like I'm
have
doing
you ever
drums
played?
and stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Have you ever played a record at the wrong speed? Like back in the day, it would be the 33, 45, 78 button. You just play something at the wrong speed and you find something new. I'm sure there's a digital version of that, but
in my eyes, the digital version of that is called train wrecking, but like it's a remix.
DJ Trainwreck.
Yeah, I know a couple of DJs are gonna kill me. I'm just gonna praise the sync loop, right? It's just funny that there was a discussion here last week about the sync. But going back, like Hector, how about you? Twitch DJ that you look up to and why?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna sound like a parrot, but it's pretty much the same.
Same too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna say Patrick. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd have to say Patrick Richards, just because he was the first DJ that I saw, and that's how I met pretty much all, everybody here. It changed my whole thinking of streaming and DJing and community. So he has to be up there. Martino, Martino is right there though, because Martina's just amazing, and they're both just such good freaking people and so giving. You know, and no ego, and it's just so nice to see, because you know I was getting to the point where I was, before I saw Patrick and all them and all y'all, I was seeing some DJs, more bigger name DJs on Twitch, and it was cool, you know, but it just wasn't the same. It didn't have that same click. So yeah, I'll have to say Patrick for me for the top one.
Nice. Jay, did somebody redeem your squats? You were doing squats back there. Yeah, we don't have a redemption for squats, right?
Oh no! Every time somebody redeems that, I always say ban squats. Like, I mean, but that's
Anyway,
up to the streamer. You know?
yeah. Well, I love to continue a lot of the Twitch discussion, but we want to go to our next segment beyond Twitch, beyond the neighborhood. We have prepared a few questions here from Gus that we want to take. You know, what you guys think about it. So this is our next segment called Beyond the Neighborhood. All right, Gus, what do we have? I know this is Spat's segment right now, but what do we have?
I think we have the.
Music,
Let
bro.
me play it. Let me play this one.
Oh, fuck that.
This is the DMB for Mr. Coops.
So I want to get people's perspective here. Everybody went to get their license renewed or went to the DMV. Just a quick story. I went to the DMV Saturday morning to get my son's learner's permit. I always thought, all right, we're going to go there, pick a number, wait for 2 hours. What I didn't know is they fucking changed it wherein you have to wait outside to fall in line so that you can fall in line on the loop inside. You've seen it, right? I was waiting there 20 degrees, 24 degrees for an hour. Well, I guess my question for everybody with that is, if you're going to change the system in DMV, this is everybody for chat, what would you change in that system? For years, like, there has to be a better way of doing it. We're digital right now. They did something in fucking COVID, like, and everybody's online. What I mean, what do you guys think that they can do better? TK, I'm gonna say you're an IT. You know efficiencies. You know, what are the data metrics? What can we do to make this more efficient?
My goodness, I wasn't expecting to solve DMV problems on a podcast.
Dude, that's what you get. Went to our show. This is
all right. Go on to the show. We're gonna solve the DMV.
But all seriously, but you probably thought something about it. Like, you are waiting for like fucking an hour and a half already. I'm still like, I can't see that guy. That guy's a bottleneck. What kind of system? I was thinking about it the whole time. I was building, sequence diagram at that point, like, thinking about it. Right? How about you? What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of my last trip to be honest, like, the last couple of trips I've had to the DMV have actually been, dare I say, like, efficient. I know, it's crazy. Like,
are you in the US? I thought you were in the West Coast. Yeah, okay.
I'm in Los Angeles, baby.
Okay.
So, like, surprisingly, like, I set up an appointment like months in advance. And there's my cat going into the curtain. But I set up an appointment to go in, and I didn't really have to wait. I was in and out in like 30 minutes without any issues.
Are you sure it's fucking DMV?
I'm pretty sure it was the DMV, man.
Are you sure you're not ordering on Chipotle?
No, I'm not ordering Chipotle.
I have never.
I
have not seen that.
Well,
we could talk about that some other time. But seriously, that's how you did not wait. I mean,
no,
I don't know.
It's just
maybe it's easier in West Coast than in East Coast,
Yeah, maybe.
No, every fucking DMV you have to wait at least an hour, right, or something. I mean, maybe in West Coast. Who's on the West Coast here? Heck, you're in the West Coast.
I'm in Washington. Yep.
So is it the same there?
Sorry, the same as what?
It says the DMV is the same. There's no.
Oh, yeah. It depends where you go. If you go to some of the smaller ones, it's not as bad. But yeah, if you go in the city and stuff, it's horrendous. I mean, you're waiting for hour and a half, 2 hours at least. It's awful.
Damn. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
not moving the West Coast with that, but it's just like I think that every government, not government, I mean, it's just fucking DMV. Like the system, they change it all the time. There used to be a ticketing system, right? The ticketing system
Mhm.
doesn't work. You're still gonna be waiting for that one guy who's gonna check what number your ticket is. Like, what's the purpose of the whole ticketing system? Plus the fact that everything can be done online, right? They did it in COVID. I mean, if you're going to renew my license, I don't care if I don't care if the same picture that I have for 5 years ago, just send me the thing. I know there's security implication or whatnot because what's happening, but I don't know. They have to improve it. I mean, right?
That would be my suggestion. Yes, if you can somehow do it safely online, and hell, even if you have to do a driving test, like schedule it to where, I mean, this will probably never happen, but schedule it to where you can have it around your schedule when it's good for you. Have me, maybe meet people halfway. Like if you have to do a driving test, do it somewhere where it's convenient. But I don't see that happening. But just make it easier.
Guess when was the last time you went to a DMV?
2 years back, because I
What's
was able
your
to just I
only one
I,
making it
I
home?
was able to renew it by mail, because I think you get one chance of renewing it by mail, and then the next time you have to go, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the
I know
kids,
I had to
right?
go in person.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's just the learner's permit, and even with that, like it's funny. Just going through this 3 times already. Just my third kid was taking, the learner's permit. It's just a different experience. It's just right now, even like the test, like used to be back in the day, they gave you this book for the learner's permit and you take it. I'm not sure how young are you, Tech, but right now there's a freaking app that they could exactly look at the same question. They practically memorized it. Like he took his test, I time it. The moment he sat down and the moment he stood up, I'm done. It's like 2 minutes and 15 seconds, dude. What? And there was there was like three. Well, there's like eight computers, right? There's like three guys that are there already, and then kids just go by. Like my son did 2 minutes, and the other kid did it in 3 minutes. Like there's no app back then. It's just crazy, right? I had to do it. All right, so that's part of my experience, and that's why I'm hoping that I could help solve DMB's problem here on this show. But you guys did not help me there. So what's our next one, guys?
You're welcome.
This is what happens when you hire DJs to fix the DMV.
No,
Nothing
but
happens.
take it. So you're in IT, right? So I mean, what part of IT? You and
I'm an
you
engineer.
talk about data, yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
so
engineering.
I do full stack engineering. So like I build everything out to like making that button look like that cornflower blue with the rounded corners and all of that, all the way to like database management and making sure that your database is going to scale when you get like millions and millions and billions of records. So, I do all of that to like deploying it out on the internet and making sure that if like 1 million, 2 million people visit that site, that it's not going to, fall apart.
So you're in the dev, not on DevOps, right? So you're in the development.
I'm a dev, yes. I'm an
so
engineer.
you're not on DevOps, right? That's Gus and I are in IT. I run a company that develop applications, so pretty pretty familiar to what you're doing.
Dope.
Great. Heck, what do I mean? Do you mind? What do you do? I mean, you're not in IT too, right? Everybody here, I think, is in IT.
No. I'm one of the few that's not in IT. No, I do. I'm a video designer, which is a fancy way of saying that I do video editing, like post-production stuff. Yeah.
Oh wow, I love that. I thought this was your job. So let me ask this: what are you doing? Are you trying to edit a video here or something?
I'm making a how-to video. No.
Yeah, how-to video.
Yeah.
Is this your dishwasher?
Yeah, dishwasher. My very first attempt at fixing the dishwasher, and let me tell you, I was so fucking proud that I didn't blow anything up, and it worked on the first try. Yeah, I was stoked. I was very happy.
Nice. Well, you know what happened if you fail, right? So that's really the the glory there, right? It's not you, yeah, being successful. She's not getting an earful from someone, right? So it's good
Yeah.
enough.
uh,
All
'Cause
right, that's
it's
cool.
hard because especially like I tried to do that on the dishwasher and then I found out that it's hardwired, so I stopped. I said, nope, I'm not gonna
Oh,
touch that.
oh man.
What do you mean hardwired?
There's no plug. It's like it's hardwired to the
Oh, you mean
yeah,
it's on? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah,
especially the ones like in the middle of the, an island, right? Those are hard.
yeah.
At least my fix
Well,
was easy. So
yeah. Well, you know what? For me, anything that has electricity, I stay away. I can knock down a wall. I could change the flooring, renovate a bathroom, as long as I'm not touching any electric. But you
well,
know
I
For
my rule.
me, for
Yeah,
me, it's plumbing. Plumbing is hard. Electric
yeah,
is like you can always turn off the main breaker. That's it. I mean,
that's
mm,
true. That too. But how long did it take you to do it? Uh,
oh gosh. Altogether, probably like hour and a half, two
that's
hours.
pretty good.
Well, yeah, because I was watching videos, just making sure I was doing everything right and putting everything back together. I think that was the biggest stress of it, just making sure everything was perfect. So
Well, I have a rule that, before starting a project, and Grace knows this. If I can do it in 4 hours, I'm not even going to start it, because I know if I know that I'm going to go 4 hours, I'm not going to finish.
right.
Because
that's a
put it
good
this
rule.
way, like, yeah, because that actually split up your weekend. If you do that, then that's your whole your weekend. So
That's
whenever,
true.
yes, I want to do this. Okay, it's either I'm going to chop it off 4 hours, 4 hours. Let's say you're working on a bedroom, right? But if something that I know I will stop, I won't be able to do it, I'm not even going to start.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen you break is like Grace's streams. That's about it.
Oh, fuck that. You're going to give it that? Dude, every time everybody blames me for that. Real ass broke it once. So there was one time that it keeps on dropping. So here's the story, right? So you know that on the redemption, oh, not community redemption, that resets every time you go on, right? You have a max of 2,000, right? And then every time you drop,
Hmm.
you can put another 2,000 so that it fills it in, right? So I have this Mr. Coops dance for like really high, and we're almost there. And then there was this one night when Grace was streaming, I actually got disconnected 7 times
Dope.
because of OBS. Yep, that's how bad it is, right? That's real ass here.
Yeah, that's been bad.
Yeah, but ass actually, what he did is every time I go on, he put 2,000 there. Boom, 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 and they reach it on that same night. Everybody was like throwing 2,000s there because they want to get that community. They actually did it that same stream, which is crazy because I have to dance now and I'm getting an earful from the DJ. So, and then I blame real ass. You did this. I know you did. You keep on like hexing it and then get it cut. That was. I mean, it was funny when we talk about it, but that's tech issues.
That's stressful.
I
Yeah,
I,
that's hella
I,
stressful.
I don't like it.
Nah.
It's the thing that I always check. I want to make sure because it's always my fault. All right,
Oh,
Gus.
I
DMB.
think
What's our next?
this one. Have you seen
I don't.
this? It's the
Let's watch it.
treadmill domino.
Woo!
Oh, watch it. Watch it.
wow.
Whoa.
So this is funny. Like, have you? First of all, they caught it on camera. Well, I guess they actually looked for it, right? Tech. You've been to the gym. Have you seen anything like that?
I've seen people fall off of the treadmill and people like ask like, "Hey, are you all right?" But I haven't seen like a waterfall of people continuously
What,
falling on
what is
treadmills.
the weirdest thing you saw in the gym? Because I saw a lot of Instagram posts of people do weird things in the gym.
Man, there was this one dude at the gym who, like, after he got done working out, because like the gym I go to, we don't have showers. Like, they just don't. So, the owner is like way too cheap to do all that. So it's like a community gym, and like there was this one dude for the longest time that like he just saw like the garden hose like outside of the front of the gym, and he would always finish up when I was coming in. So whenever I would go to work out, he would just be like have this hose and just be like hosing himself off, like, "Oh hey, have a good workout." Like, this is weird. Like,
Outside?
just outside,
on
like
on the parking lot.
it, like right in front of the entrance to the gym, he would just
Like
hose
greeting you.
himself off with
Tell
like
me.
a garden hose. Like,
Dude, how old? An old guy? I mean,
it was a younger dude. It was a younger
as
dude.
long as he's not naked. Because have you
No,
guys
he was-
went to those big gyms?
Oh no, he wasn't naked. He was just like
Okay,
just
but-
like in workout shorts, but it was just weird.
Heck, you've been to these big gyms, right? You know, I mean, we
Oh,
go
yeah.
to the shower, like it's like, I don't know. For me, I still, maybe it's just me. It's just weird sometimes, and I get it. This buff dude, like, you know, everything naked. I'm okay there, but it's this old guy's gonna pass me, like, damn it, dude. You know, it's just it's so hard. I'm really sorry. It's just I'm having a hard time doing that. That's why it's hard for me to actually shower in the gym. I mean, if the gym is like a drive-away, I'm gonna do it at home. But what do you guys think about that? Because you're laughing because we talked about this one time, you know. Why are you laughing? I mean, you guys not uncomfortable? Am I the only one who's uncomfortable when you
No,
know? when
I won't shower in the gym like if it's like that. No.
I mean, I'll be honest, like sometimes, you know, before I was working remotely, I would find like a gym membership very, very close to, you know, where I was going to work. And I didn't have any problem showering there because like I'm an early morning kind of person. I have a very, very hard time staying up late because I go to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning typically because like I'm a nut job. So the nice part about that is like, one, there's usually not a lot of people there, and the people that are there are usually like really, really committed and like, you know, want to you succeed. Because like in its own sense, like the gym to me is like its own community, and I show up there like, you know, 5:30 in the morning. I see the same people, and it's just an opportunity to like hang out and chat with them, like kind of like my own little Twitch fam. I look at them as like a part of my community, but in a different way, not so much for the DJing and the Twitch, but more so for like, hey, we're trying to stay fit together. And it's cool now because like, you know, one of my friends who I did make at the gym, he comes into my Twitch stream like clockwork, like every week. He's always there. And he's like, hey, great stream last night whenever I'm in the gym the next morning.
I like your friends. I don't know if I can say with my friends where we go there to get fit together. Like, you know, I all my friends will never get into that conversation because it's laughing right now. Okay, all right. So what's next? What's next, Gus? And then we can go to the no dumb question. This is not going anywhere. Do you have something else that you want to show?
I think let me see. How much time do we have?
We have one more, then we can go to no dumb questions.
Okay, let's do the.
We'll have possession of the basketball to kick things off once again.
Now Louisville is very, very strong in the third quarter, outscoring teams 329. Wow.
And some confusion by the Blue.
Have you seen this? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this
interesting.
this is college basketball. Yeah, I know you guys follow basketball. Basketball is our sport outside of football, right? That's dumb though. That's college basketball, right? I mean, that's Louisville. That's the women's, right? How can you not say that you actually should be defending the other side? Because I think that's what happened there, right? So they're doing an inbound play, and they're going that way, and everybody's defending that way. I mean, that's stupid for both sides, though. Or was that the trick that, you know, like 3 of the teammates are actually trying to go there? Well, how did that happen?
I know it happens on high school, but I didn't know that it could happen.
You-
Maybe it's after
grade
it's
school.
after a timeout, right? It's after a timeout, so maybe that's why they got confused. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, before we go to no dumb, I do want to ask TK about this, right? Because I'm really interested. Let me just run something here.
Well, I suppose an introduction is in order. Hello, I'm Teknal. I'm a classically trained percussionist with a bachelor's degree in music education. After graduating from school,
I'm just gonna stop there. What the fuck is a 4-mallet marimba?
it's
How do you-
exactly what it is.
Or what?
4-mallet marimba,
Mhm.
right? The how do you play that? That's huge. I mean,
It was huge, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's in my living room. It's a 5-octave
Wow.
rosewood. So my main instruments in college, just Oak Daddy DJs. I see the chat, and yeah, I do own one. So how it works is there's actually 3 different kind of grips that you can have on marimba. Let me grab some drumsticks to kind of demonstrate.
Well, while you're grabbing, did you just play that in college? You did not play that in in high school or whatever, right?
Oh, I mean, we had a smaller one in college, but I actually toured playing like marimba and vibraphone and those like mallet instruments. So I played it with 4. So how it works is you can actually have like independent control over each mallet. I'm doing it with drumsticks right now, but you have independent control of each mallet. So you can do like ripple rolls, and you can have 2, and you can kind of do all of that stuff. So yeah, that's how it works.
Do they do that in school? Because
Yes.
you know where your kids bring instrument in school. Imagine bringing that in the fucking bus stop, right? 'Cause I remember, because I remember my son, right? So I said, "Oh, what? All my kids, they have to middle school. You have to go to all this instrument class, right? And you have to pick one." He picked a trombone. Like, say, dude, do you
Oh
even know
no.
how you that? Oh no, I mean, I think it's cool, but you
Oh
have
yeah.
to bring that home. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like that. No, yeah, right. You go pick a recorder, right? Whatever, right? 'Cause
Mhm.
that's the easiest ones. Put in your pocket and you're done. But
Yep.
you can't, or a violin. But they don't have that in high school, right?
Some of them do. Some of them have marimbas. It just really depends on like the school and like the funding that particular school gets. But in like a classical percussion program, if you were to study,
Nice.
you have to play 4 mallet marimba. You have to play 4. You have to learn how to hold 4,
What,
and you have to play it.
four sticks, basically.
Yeah. So there's like 2 in here, and there's another 2 over here. And then, you learn all these different grips. There's Stevens, traditional, and Burton grip. And Burton's mainly used for vibraphone because it's a smaller instrument. But Stevens is typically used on marimba because you get like a longer like range. Like if a traditional grip, if I were to hold this in traditional, you only get like maybe like an octave. With Burton, you get like usually an octave. But if you do Stevens, which is a third kind of grip where the sticks don't cross in your hands,
Right.
you actually expand them out like way more than an octave. So it can go like to like a 14th or a 15th.
Gus, not too late to learn it. That's your instrument. I hear you. I hear it calling you. That's tough.
That's hard.
All right. So that's for Beyond the Neighborhood. I think this is where everybody really wants to. I bet they've been holding back asking their questions. So this is the show where we ask the people to ask questions to our guests. And like what we said, there's no dumb question. The only question that is dumb is the one that has not been asked or not been answered. So this is our no dumb question section. All right. So is there any questions from the chat that you want our guests to answer? I do have one that I'm going to be putting in for them to start. Then everybody could line up what the question are. Right. So here's the first question that I have for everybody. Hold on a second. I think it's going to be interesting. And I want Hecto to start answering it first. Here's the question. If you have to describe your DJing style in 3 words, what will they be?
3 words. Groovy, fun, danceable.
Very good. Actually, perfect for your vibe. TK, how about you?
I would say active, creative, and feeling. That's how I would say my three words.
Jay, I know you don't stream, but you're a DJ. What's your 3 words?
He's typing.
You typing?
House, techno, and
House
floor.
floor. All right. Gus, how about you? I know the first word. Exotic is the first word.
Nah. I guess crazy, danceable, and I guess fun. I guess. Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. People can also answer if you want there. All right, I'm not a DJ. I'm not answering that. I'm gonna answer the next question though. It's
You should
funny
have to.
though.
I muted myself again.
Yeah, it's funny that I saw Virgil said 3 words, no requests, please. That's funny. So anybody has question? DJ Nick's in the mix. Question: Can anyone tell me the difference between an equalizer? Is this a quiz? Isolator, crossover, and crossfader?
Interesting.
I can't answer that, Nick. So I'm out of this question too, right? So
I mean, if we really want to get super technical on that, so an equalizer is all of the highs, the mids, and the lows, each of them having their own band of frequencies that you can boost or reduce. Though that's equalization. Isolator it's in short, it's a bandpass. It's a bandpass filter. So it's isolating a certain group of frequencies, whether they're highs and the mids and the lows. It's different from equalization because this one filters out all of those particular frequencies. Crossover. Now, crossover is actually a type of a crossfader example. So a crossfader would be like that thing at the bottom that lets you switch between A and B, and you can set individual channels to A and B. So your crossover is your setting for your crossfader. So for scratching, you would use the crossover that looks like a picnic table, is what I like to call it. There's also like a stapler that looks like it. That's just like a straight, like up and down. So if I were to move like this crossfader like a millimeter over from A to B, so it's like a millimeter over towards B, if you had that staple, you would still hear all of track B, like 100% of the gain of the wet dry signal from that. So, that's it. That's what I understand, unless you're talking about like wire crossover and signal crossover, which is like very, very different.
Teacher DJ Nick's in the mix says 3 out of 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Heck. Well, that's my answer too. Can you answer this? I can't answer. You guys said thumbs up, so that's his answer too.
So you want me to answer the same question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So equalizer. I know. Yeah, you can change the bass and the mids and the treble and all that. Isolator. I take that as if you want to isolate the vocals. Isolate the drums or the bass. Crossover. I didn't really know about. So techno got that one. And then crossfader. Yeah, if you want to go from one channel to the other. You can either do it the old school way where you have it on the bottom and you go left and right for each channel, or you can do it now. Well, I see everybody else doing it now, and I've adapted to it too, where you use the long crossfaders to mix in your blend.
Wow. You want to answer that, Jay? Or you want to type it in?
I was just going to say, what if you aren't a binary person? Like, it's just not left, right, up, down, square, circle.
Circle, square, triangle.
Just press the buttons, right?
In your place is color. Now you have
the triangle. Yeah.
I feel like everyone has a different setup, and everyone has learned in a different way from a different set of like references. So there is no like one right answer to that. It's like what works for you. Somebody else you'll go to some random place like Belgium or something, and they will completely blow your fucking mind because they look at it in a completely different way. And that's the power of music. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well,
Love it, dude.
Let me add something to that. So one of the beautiful parts about DJing is that regardless if you're on a DDJ 200 or like a Flex 10 or CDJ 3000s, regardless of whatever equipment that you're on, everyone has access to the same tools. Everybody has memory cues, everybody has hot cues, EQ, faders, crossfader. They have all access to the same tools, but we all individually as artists use them very, very differently. So that's kind of the beautiful part of it. We have like this basis of like, here's this box of toys to play with. And then you can't do anything wrong after that. You can just kind of do whatever you want and use each of these tools in your own creative way to make something special.
Okay. Guys, you want to add something, or are you just going to thumbs up again? Thumbs up, right? Yeah, there you go. That's the best. That's the best answer I have so far. All right, so that's a very good question. Actually, that everybody, had some good answers there. So let's go to the next one. Anybody else? I saw one from Made from Peace. Hey, Made from Peace, how are you? Thank you for asking a question here. I know you're just tune in. Which word would you use if you could only use one for the rest of your life?
Ooh.
Damn it. Am I? So I'm part of this, right? It's not DJ
Yeah.
related. I'll start. For me, it's I always carry this throughout my career and everything. It's persistence, right? Not being a pest. There's two differences, right? Persistence and a pest. Persistence for me is it encompasses a lot of different adjectives that tell you just to move on, don't stop, continue, be ambitious, and nothing is impossible, right? For me, that's what kept me going just my entire life, right? So that's the word I'm going to use. Okay. All right. Heck, I'm going to pick on you.
So one word to use for the rest of my life. Now, this isn't just talking. It's just one word that you're just...
Yeah.
I would say, this is going to be super cheesy, but I'm going to say love, because it's very lacking, it seems, except for the Twitch community, but it seems to be lacking. And I know on my stream, one thing that I try to make it is a place where people can be themselves, they can be happy. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't, nothing. Like, everybody is welcome. So I think that would be my word.
Okay. Tech?
Hi. Nora wants to say hello. So she is cuddling me and she will not leave me alone. So you guys stuck with me. Oof. That's a hard one. I would say, like, I've always really liked the word go, as in go do that thing, go rest, go achieve, go do whatever. And I've always been a person who's just always had like a bias for action of like, if I want something and if I want to achieve something, I'm not going to wait for everyone. And that's kind of like why I fell in love with software engineering, is because, like, if I have a cool idea for an app or a website or a tool that I want to build, I don't have to wait for anyone. I could just like go and make it happen. Like, if you can think it, you can build it. And that's one of the cool parts of being a software engineer and a programmer. Like, if I wanted to build like a game for my Twitch streamers to enjoy, like, I can absolutely do that without asking for anyone's permission. I can just go out and like do it. So that's and I'm working on that right now. Like, I'm actually building like a WebSocket server to reach Twitch chat and like, make an interactive like drum game for my channel right now. So, working on it, still figuring out the goddamn Twitch API, which is god awful horrendous.
Ask Gus. We already actually did something similar for that one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Do you need some time?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go off script here and answer that question with a quote.
Okay.
Because there isn't really just one word for anything.
It's one word, Jay.
I mean,
no, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm busting her balls.
The syntactical nature of reality, the real secret of magic, is that the world is made of words. And if you know the words that the world is made of, you can make it whatever you wish.
Damn, that's deep, Jay.
Yeah,
that's deep.
That is
deep.
Deep.
Nobody's gonna ban the mute if you always say this type of things on the chat, dude. I admire you. I love it, dude.
That's not mine. That is by the pseudo-American ethnobotanist Terence McKenna.
Jay, do you like learning languages?
Well, I was born in Vietnam during the war, and I grew up in this country, and I work in a kitchen. So I've always been like multilingual. You know?
Yeah. So I love
Yeah.
that quote that I love the quote that you said, because I one of the things that I really like to do outside of streaming is I actually really enjoy learning other languages that aren't English. So like at this point, I actually speak 4 languages, not fluently, but like enough to understand. So I speak English, Spanish, Thai, and Japanese. And
Well, Teknal, there's an interesting I don't know if it's a theory, it's a concept.
Mhm.
No matter where we grew up, you only learn one language. But then when you dream, what language do you dream in? And that tells you what your native tongue is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. And like why I love language so much is because language is quote unquote the operating system in which we process information in the world around us. So whether it's
Yeah.
English, whether it's Japanese, like there's so much culture that's just innately baked into language. Like for instance, like in Japanese, there's like 4 different levels of politeness or keigo that they have. So being like when I'm speaking in Japanese to like my native speakers that I practice with often, I become like way more polite and way more reserved than if I were in English, or if I were speaking to somebody in Spanish and be like a little bit more loosey goosey.
Why is
Yes,
that
but
though? I
because
mean,
you-
is this
but-
because of the
but-
choices of words? Sorry.
But
Jay.
because you work in the technical side, Teknal,
Mhm.
like words are also numbers. So if
Right.
if the universe is made of math, because everything is numbers,
Mhm.
words are the way that we express math. And
Interesting.
because we are DJs, we are music artists. We are the keepers of time.
God damn, Jay. We should have you more on this. This is
Deep.
dude.
Deep,
Dig
man.
it in.
I never expected this, right? You're
As-
just
as
thinking
D-
already.
as
You're not thinking,
DJs,
but
as DJs and music people, we are the keepers of time because
Oh,
time is
yeah.
just an illusion that you experience. So we keep time to make people dance.
Mhm.
We are the keepers of time.
I say this in
Alright.
my streams so often,
Yeah.
Jay, but I always say that music is how humans decorate time. And
Yeah.
that's like that's like absolutely fucking hitting it right on the head, right on the nail, dude. Oh, I love that.
I feel like I'm pretty good with words, but I would consult a thesaurus, but I think they're all extinct because a huge meteor came and wiped them all out like centuries ago.
that cracked me up.
And I was
Hitchhiker.
just going to answer that question with a word shit, but then after Jay Nila said that, I was like, maybe I should change
the
my
word,
answer.
Yeah, it's fucked now, right? Oh my god. I just love what Hector about coding Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42.
Yeah. 42, baby.
Yeah. Oh my god. That was deep. That was deep. Anybody with like an easier question that Jane Miller will that could be easier for us to kind of like match, because Jane Miller is doing like a Zen type right now. Damn it, dude. Love it. Any other questions? I have one. Let me just put it. Okay. So again, no dumb questions, guys. This is the time to ask questions to these guests. I have one. Let me find it. I like spicy questions. Something that will get you guys thinking more. Here. This is more on Jade Nilith, right? So this is the question. Put it in the chat. What's the most outrageous thing you've done for love or friendship? I'm gonna ask Jay Nila first.
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. I mean,
Go for it, dude.
I mean, love and friendship are kind of the same thing, but love can be that's like friendship with benefits, but it can get too complicated, right?
So what have you did? What did you do?
And, that's like Teknal talking about going to the gym with no showers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
So Well, what was it?
I think love is like the purest thing that is possible, really, out of anything, because it's all just love, right? Everything. Love is the vibrational thing, if there is only one thing that keeps the universe together.
What?
It's just love.
You still didn't answer my question.
Some people choose to use the word God, but that's really the same answer, because God just means love, no matter what your your theological or religious background is. It's just one love and one. And I think the thing that we're all blessed with, because we came to this music, however we chose to came to it. Um, Music is about bringing people together and making them free.
All right. So
You
I think that's what Jay's saying, because he doesn't want to say what's the most outrageous thing he did, because he got banned on the Twitch for that one. I'm gonna move to Tech. Go Tech. What was the most outrageous thing you've done for love or friendship?
Oh man, that's such a hard one.
That's why I love it.
Yeah, this is a super hard one. I was thinking on this for a bit. Yeah, this is a super hard one. I think like
Who has an answer? How about you?
I
Hector?
can
go
yeah,
first.
let
if you
Hector
want.
Let's
go.
go.
I'll
Let's
think.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember something. Love can make you do some pretty crazy things. So I was before my lovely space queen. It was a long time ago. I was dating this gal that I was crazy about, and I even though I play drums, I could play power chords on guitar, and I could play
Nice.
power chords on keys and play bass a little bit. So I I wrote this song for this girl, and I recorded it on a tape, and I wrapped it up, and I put in a little bow and everything, and I drove like to where she lived, and I put it like by her car, so she would
Nice.
notice, like in the middle of the night. That's probably like the most craziest thing like I've done.
My dude. That's actually awesome. It's something I will do. Uh I'm gonna circle back to you, TK. Gus, this is probably I'm actually waiting for your answer for this one.
Me?
Yeah.
I guess I drove from Manila to Baguio in one day back and forth just to give flowers to a girl.
How long was that drive?
6 hours.
Back
12 hours. Back and forth is 12 hours. Yeah.
the tip for love. Oh my god. I expect that from you. TK, you got your answer? Or you
Yeah,
want
I
me to
think I
get
got
you?
I think I got mine. So mine's gonna be a little bit odd and probably out of the blue, but like there was this really, really cute girl that I liked at this arcade that I grew up in Rockford, Illinois. And she really, really liked really liked DDR. So she would like play it all the time. And so like, wow, like I really wanna, impress this girl. So like I better get really, really good at DDR. So like I would like go to the arcade when like she wasn't there, and I would like practice, and I would get like really, really good at DDR to the point where like I actually won a competition in high school for DDR.
The thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the funny thing was like it kind of worked because like we dated for like this is high school. So like, love is like super, super fleeting. We dated for like a month, and then she's like, I'm gonna dump you over text and go back to my ex. I'm like, fuck this, man.
Oh my
This is
god.
so awful.
You got better at DDR. You
I
guys
did. I got really good at DDR,
Really?
man. Like I still got my chops, and I still remember all my like shortcuts
Nice.
and stuff. Like I was like,
Nice.
yeah, it was so fun. Actually, like I'll admit that got me into like Japanese music quite a bit because there's like fucking bangers on DDR, man. Great music.
Shoot, my turn. This was a long time ago, also, and it sits with Grace. We got into this argument. He won't speak to me, and at that time, she's a nurse, but she works on a bank, right? Big banks in the Philippines, and she won't talk to me. She won't answer my calls. So what I did is I actually asked one of her coworker to put me on the PA on speakers, like banks, you know, hearing it, customers and everything. I sang
Wow.
on that speaker, and then she needs to shut me up because I probably feel like 4 verses until I said, okay, stop, I'm going to talk to you. I think that's probably the most outrageous thing I've done in public that I can talk about, but you know, there are things I can't talk about.
What's the
Oh,
song?
uh, what's the song? It's Eraserheads. It's Eraserhead. So one of the Eraserhead songs. So and that's actually when we got married. It's one of the tracks on our CDs back then. You know, that's the first track. No, it's not. It's not Erasure. It's Erasure. It's a Filipino
Always.
band. Yeah,
Always.
it's not Erasure, but it's all right. Any other questions before we end the show? Going. All right. I think we're gonna go overtime, guys. You know, I know we could probably stay here for 2 more hours and talk more, right? You know, it's been fun. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. And this is why we love the show. And if anybody wants to be in the show, let us know, because we want to tell people stories. You know, we got Teknal, you know, the wizardry of what he's doing, their streams and the instrument. We got Hecto and his amazing, you know, talent on fixing dishwashers. You know, we learn all of those. Like it's nice that we know we can tell the people outside of just streaming as you tell those stories. So we love to do that. But before we go, and thank you guys, can you guys tell us, you know, what you're doing, what's next, you know, what's your next set? Are you up to IRL or in Twitch? Let us know. I'll start with you, Heck.
Oh boys, for IRL stuff, I haven't really done anything. Actually, it's funny. I just played a friend's birthday party Saturday night in Seattle, so that was cool. But as far as IRL stuff, I know there's something coming up in April. There was some family reunion stuff, but you know, I think there's gonna be other stuff going on. I don't know. Like, I think I'm gonna be on the East Coast in April doing something. I'm not sure what yet.
Okay. I will not ask more about that, but I saw it. But dude, if you're on the East Coast, let me know. You're in Philly, you know, we love to talk. But
I will. I'll definitely be in the
hit me
area,
up.
so.
Hit me up. So how about Twitch? You know, what's your schedule looks like? What's your next show? Tell us more.
Yeah. So I play Thursdays and Fridays. I'll be playing this Thursday and Friday. Thursdays I normally do like bassy stuff, techno type of stuff. Though last week I did D&B and breaks. Fridays I try to keep it like feel good music, so like, you know, some nice funky house and, you know, just more funky stuff and stuff that, you know, just kind of makes your heart kind of happy. Yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. I think for the future of Twitch, I definitely want to do more stuff with the drums. I would love to incorporate my little Chaosilator, which you can do cool little loops and stuff and little sound effects. Yeah, yep. So I would love to do stuff like that. I don't know, just broaden my horizons and just, you know, make the stream as entertaining and the best that I can, you know, for you all, and make it good. So.
Yeah, please follow, you know, Hectophonic on Twitch, and then catch him on his show and also on NBHD. Teknal, how about you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, so next month, from March 17th or from March 12th to March 17th, I'll be playing my first international show in Mexico.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's for
awesome.
It's for an event called Leyenda de Corazon, and it'll be my third time taking out the hybrid setup IRL. So I actually I've done more IRL. I haven't done like a lot of hybrid stuff IRL. I've only done it like 3 times. One at a Renegade. The second time was at a house party, and then this third time is going to be in Mexico for this gig. So like a lot of my Twitch streaming has been like, you know, in a way practice for that, and like, because like there's a lot of gear to learn. Like there's a lot of shit. Like there's like Ableton, there's like live looping and all of that stuff. It's quite a bit. But I'll be playing that show in March 17th, and I'll be opening up for the Sponges. So that's going to be a huge show for me. Yeah, I'm opening up for the Sponges on Saturday night at the festival.
Holy shit!
So it's a big one. But you know, in the streaming world, what I plan on doing is, you know, streaming is like a really, really interesting new medium. And what I really want to do specifically with like streaming is provide an experience that like it'll only work within the medium of streaming. So like things like interacting with chat and having like a game for people to play that incorporates this drum pad. So like the first side of it was actually building out like this little overlay that would show like that would like light up whenever I hit like a particular drum pad on stream. So now I'm trying to incorporate chat into that so that people can like change the drum pad sounds while I'm in the middle of it. They can control Ableton Live all through like Twitch chat and channel redemptions and stuff. So I'm working on coding all that stuff out from scratch. I don't know when it's going to be done, but I'm going to be working my damnedest to like really try and push this medium forward. And at the same time, after I get it out for myself, I want to distribute that tech and that technology.
That's awesome.
And server stuff. I want to give that to other streamers so that you guys can do it in your streams too. I'm not just going to hoard this for myself. Like, no, I'm going to give this to you fuckers. Take it.
Yeah, dude, that's really awesome. And I'm really glad you're part of the NBHD family and the community. And this is what it's all about, right? Sharing and you know, distributing or really, you know, extending, you know, what you have to the family. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, I hope you have fun. I know we need more time, but we'd love to have you guys back. It's been awesome. And then thanks also for your community to support, you know, in supporting the show today. We do this every Monday. If you want to be in the show, let us know. Also, just an announcement, the NBHD crew is going to the movement this May, so we'll be there. Well, if you guys want to, you know, meet up, reach out to me. Sound Decision, Gus and I are trying to organize not a big event, but something that, you know, we could just meet and hang out during a festival like that. I think this would be great. At May in the movement in Detroit. Hope to see a lot of you there. We're probably gonna go Saturday because that's probably the best time for everybody. If you're going, let us know. And again, thank you so much for supporting the guys next door. We won't be able to do this without you. It's fun. Again, thank you, Hecto. Thank you, Teknal. Jay Media guy. You're the band. Thank you so much. I appreciate you helping out and being on the show. Your quotes, you know, I'm gonna make them all commands on Grace's stream. I record all of them.
Just real quick, can I plug something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Pi, March 14th, I'm doing a raid train, and DJs are Lavanda Rocks, Eliza Vibes, BW Apprentice, Coffee and Trance, Cotton and Home, Say Akita, John Williams, and Awu.
That's really good names. Well, thank you. That's really good. We'll be supporting you there. Thank you so much. Yep. And for everybody, again, this is the guys next door every Monday. The guys next door when talk is cheap and the laughs are priceless. Thank you all. Have a good week. Thank you so much. All right, again. Stay for the raid.